Hear us out. Hear us out.
Hear us out.
Hear us
Hear
out.
us out. Hear us out, man. Hear us out. Hear us out. Hear us out. Hear us out. Yo, okay. Hear me out? No. Hear you out. Hear me out. Hear us out.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Philly Cam. Hear us out. You're listening to WPPM 106.5 FM, Philly Cam Community Radio, and for our TV viewers, thanks for watching us on Xfinity 66 and 966, also Verizon Fios 29 and 30. And shout out to all who are watching on Philly Cam's YouTube. I'm Genesis, and this episode of Hear Us Out will be a conversation about returning back to life with the slowing of the pandemic, how we try to find a new normal. We will dive into some discussions around musicians we listen to and how does social media affect the music industry. We will even touch on cancel culture because I love to know, and can a person really be canceled? To top off this clearly awesome show, we will have a sit-down chat with musician Yunel Serreta, who will share info about the meaning behind his song Moretta. Let's check in with Zora. We hear she recently attended the Tyler Creator concert. How was it, Zora?
Hi, the concert was great. I went to see Tyler the Creator at the Call Me You Get Lost tour in March on the 6th, and it was like one of the best nights of my life. Like I went with 3 of my other friends, and Tyler is one of my favorite artists, so finally being able to see him live was amazing. And before his set, Tizo Touchdown, Vince Staples, and Kali Uchis performed, so that was great seeing them as well. And overall, it was like a fantastic show. And my friends and I somehow managed to get floor seats too, so we got like really close to seeing Tyler as well.
That sounds really fun. You're mute, Samaj.
I asked, how was it going to the concert?
It was great. Like it was a lot of people. Like it was way more than I expected, but it was nice. Like finally going to a concert. It was the first one I've been to since the pandemic, so it was really fun.
How was this performance? Like, because I've seen videos of how he performs, and
it was definitely like a 1,000 out of 10. Like it was like so good. Like I can't even like he broke the scale basically, but it was like an amazing show. Like he performed like a lot of my favorite songs too, so that was cool.
Stands, bro. Stands ridiculous, man.
Was there anything like your least favorite about the concert, or in general, about any artists that performed?
Something that was my least favorite was that there were so many people, because it was like very crowded, especially being in the pit. Like people were pushing and everything. But other than that, it was still like a really good show.
Nah, bro, I'm not gonna let you get away with that, bro. You already know what I'm about to say, bro. Vince Staples. I'm not letting you live, bro. Tell me why you disrespect him, my God.
I didn't disrespect him. Like I just personally don't listen to Vince Staples like that, so I didn't enjoy his set as much as I enjoyed Tyler's.
How was it, Kali Uchis? I love Kali Uchis.
Kali Uchis was amazing. Like I love her songs too, and like I know her songs, but I don't like know all the words, especially the songs in Spanish. But I was still trying to love everything.
Yeah, all good. Like, oh my gosh, it's just a vibe. She's just a vibe in general. Like, I wish I could have went too.
There's a lot of bias going on. I feel like, like you like Kali, you like Vince. Like I'm only dude here. Like yo, I see the bias. I get you, bro. It's all good though. But when in terms of music that is in Philly, how do you guys feel about that? Like, because for me personally, I could definitely say like there are some really good artists in Philly, but there definitely are some that like I'll say a lot of the music in Philly is very, it's very much drill, and it is pretty crazy. It's a psychopath music, for being honest. So what do y'all think about that?
I'm gonna let Zora go first.
Yeah, I would say like there definitely are good artists in Philly, but at the same time, like, a lot of artists are sounding the same and like having like a really similar sound that you can tell like that they're from Philly and it's like very distinctive. But at the same time, like also people want to see originality, so I think that sometimes will foster not just with Philly, but like in general, like with new artists.
All right, for sure. What about you, Jim?
Everyone's individuality is like unique. I do see a little similarities, like people doing the same thing over and over, but what they do differently is what like puts them out there and like what separates them from like everything like else and other artists from other places and stuff like that. I don't know. I guess just being open minded about upcoming artists is a good thing.
Yeah, I do wish though that like, because many other cities in the country, like you have like places like New York, Atlanta, LA, even Chicago, like there's plenty of places throughout Florida. Like there's so many places throughout the country where it's like kind of has that own unique sound, and Philly definitely has it. But it's kind of like the underrated sort of like sound we think about in terms of like, oh, what's a city that like has like a raw unique sound. Like Philly really is never talked about all that much for sex.
How do y'all think about the delivery of like people's performances and just like smaller big artists?
In terms of, wait, say it again.
How do you like feel about the like when artists perform, big or small of artists, their performance? Like how much of an importance do you think that is?
It seems like with small artists is because it depends on what we're talking about in terms of small artists. Like, at least in Philly, like a lot of the small artists are usually like a lot of street dudes, and I've never really been to like a street concert, but just seeing those sort of concerts just online is kind of it's not, you're not going to get the performance of your life. It's going to be cool, but it ain't going to be anything crazy. And in terms of like bigger artists, like someone like Meek Mill or something like that, they're going to give you like an insane concert experience. They know how to please a crowd. Like I feel like that's something that some artists, a lot of small artists, just suffer with in general. They don't know how to really please a crowd. Doing interviews, like don't get me started on interviews, bro. Small artists, not saying all of them, but a lot of them suck at doing interviews. I don't want to be listening to artists based off of the interviews alone. I'm that dude. I'm sorry, but it is what it is. What about you, Zoe?
Yeah, I would say the performance is a really big thing, especially like if for me, like waiting to see someone for a really long time and then like the performance doesn't match up to like what I've been anticipating, like I would be like disappointed. But performance, like it does like play into like how much you like an artist because like it shows another aspect of like how talented they are. Like not saying that like all artists who perform like aren't good, but at the same time, I would want to see a good show and not like be bored like watching something like that I paid to see. And I feel like a lot of newer artists, like they may not have like the training like for performance as like more seasoned artists.
Right.
I do like when the performances, like when they perform, they put they all like when it comes to choreography and putting efforts in like how they perform and everything. It makes the experience even like much cooler. I want to touch on what you said, Samaj, about the interview stuff. Do you like when they freestyle on like the interviews?
If they can't rap, don't bother giving them a mic, bro. if a dude can't rap and they say, "Yo, let me freestyle," man, take the microphone and throw it out the window, bro, and slap them for even thinking they should try and freestyle, bro. No way. But if you're a rapper, then I mean, because I don't know, like even with rappers who really can rap, it's I don't know. I feel like with rappers who know how to rap, is kind of a good thing to have in your back pocket. Be able to freestyle and really prove yourself, because especially if you want to come up, being able to prove yourself, just on the spot, is definitely a big thing to be able to do. But if you can't rap, don't bother. Stop it. Go home.
I agree. Thank you guys for sharing your experience with us. I'm looking forward to going to a live concert again. We'll be right back after the quick break. Zora, want to tell us about this video made for our break?
Yeah, I made a video highlighting women in the entertainment industry, and I wanted to highlight that it's important to celebrate women not only during Women's History Month, but anytime. So enjoy the video for our break. We'll be back. Welcome back to Hear Us Out with our crew of talking about Tyler the Creator. And for those who may not know, Tyler the Creator is a rapper from Ladera Heights, California. And in my opinion, he's always been true to himself, and he's really influenced a lot of people in the music industry with his overall persona and his music as well. And his career began when he was part of the rap collective Odd Future in 2007. And recently, in 2020, Tyler won a Grammy Award for Best Rap Album with his album Igor. And for 2022, he also won Best Rap Album, a Grammy for Best Rap Album for his album Call Me If You Get Lost. And I feel that he's always had an unapologetic approach to creation, and all while transforming himself from a blunt force lyricist to an unguarded, versatile artist. So for you guys, I wanted to know, what is your history with Tyler, or when did you first hear of him?
I heard of Tyler, I want to say a couple years ago. I don't really remember, but he has a very unique way of presenting himself in general, and his music is just so, it's just fire. I don't know how else to explain it.
I feel that. I've always I can't really say I first heard of him a particular moment, but I've always known of him. Always heard about him. I've heard some of the controversy he's got in with some of his older music. It was pretty wild. That's kind of understanding, honestly, but I could definitely say when it comes to Tyler and the kind of Gen Z sort of movement of kind of being okay with being the weird kid, or being just a weirdo in general. I think Tyler definitely has a huge influence in that. And honestly, another point I want to bring up too is the fact that since in his earlier music, he was super blunt with a lot of the stuff he would talk about, And we think back, you got people like Eminem who used, or maybe 50 Cent, but my first example, I thought it was Eminem. So like Eminem was very blunt, always straightforward, always saying some crude stuff. And Tyler, I would, gonna be kind of a hot take, but I would say probably Tyler's probably like the Eminem in that sense to that. You feel me? I would say that. So I don't know if y'all would agree with that or not.
No, I see what you're saying, like with their beginning of their career. And like for me, I first heard of Tyler around like 2018, 2019, like with Flower Boy. That's how I first got into him. And then like from there, just with Igor and then Call Me If You Get Lost. And like you were saying, like with the weird kid thing, like that's a reason why I kind of like him as well, because like he shows that you can just be who you are and like just basically just not let people's words get to you. Just keep being unique. And like I relate to that, like feeling like you don't belong in certain places as well. Have you guys ever felt like you haven't belonged like anywhere, like felt like an outcast personally?
Sort of, not like fully. I just, if I feel like I'm outcast or not wanted or feel wanted, I'm just gonna not, I'm just gonna stay where I'm at and not like force anything. But it is a thing, like growing up, you feel outcasted, you feel like you're weird and everyone is just being like too cool and you kind of want to join their crowd or whatever. But in all actuality, you're that girl, you're that guy, and you don't need to, be those people. Just be uniquely you.
Yeah.
What about you, Samaj?
It's weird because like in elementary, middle school, I was bullied a lot, but like I never felt like an outcast though. It's weird. Like I just never felt like an outcast. I was always kind of to myself for the most part, but it wasn't because I felt rejected. It was just the people I was around already at least in school at that point, I didn't really care to be around, so I just kind of stuck to myself. But I mean, I would say probably as I got older, since I'm more introverted, the older I got, the more I guess I kind of felt like, I don't want to use the word outcast, but I felt like, I guess away. I would just say like away from everything.
You're to yourself, right?
Yeah. So like,
Felt that.
Yeah. So when I started to kind of break out of my shell a little bit, it's like I realized like, oh snap! I guess I'm kind of like out of it, But overall, I would say I definitely didn't feel like an outcast.
Like an introvert, extrovert.
Yeah. Like I would definitely say
You're like a mix of both.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in a
Introvert.
yeah, like in a social, like those freaking motorcycles are going crazy. Like in a social situation, I can easily like adjust and do completely fine, but I much rather stick to myself. So I don't know. I'll definitely say I'm an ambivert or whatever. How do you even spell that? Ambivert.
Yeah. So another question I want to ask you guys is, how has Tyler influenced you? Or has he influenced you in any way? I can go first. For me, like like I said, like Tyler's one of my favorite artists, and like I relate to him feeling like, I guess like the weird kid, or feeling like you're not, like you don't belong in certain situations, but also like he, like I said earlier, like he influences me like to just continue to be myself and not really care what other people say about it. Do you guys kind of feel about it? Oh, sorry. What were you about to say?
What makes you feel like a outcast though?
Something that like a lot of times I get called like I'm not like black enough, or like I talk white, or like I'm not like
talk like Caucasian. I get it.
Yeah. So like in cases like that, like sometimes I feel like I'm not black enough, and like I know Tyler, like people have said stuff about this to him about him as well. So like in that case, I kind of relate as well, like feeling like that. Have you guys ever felt like that personally? No.
Jen, you take this one, bro.
No, you don't have to.
Take this and put it in a chokehold, bro.
Are we talking about outcasts again?
If not, I can ask you.
Honestly, just he's like a person he says it's the other word, but I don't care. The whole thing, I don't care. Like, do what you want. Da da da. Like, mainly do what feels good. Don't worry about other people thinking what they want to think, and you're doing something wrong. Da da da. Like, if that make you happy, do it. Just little key things that I would pick up from his like interview or like him. I would just see a video on Instagram, and it's just facts. So I think that's really cool that he gets on his platforms and like talks his ish. So
yeah, he definitely does talk it. Man's a freak of nature, but I like it.
Yeah. So another thing that I wanted to ask you guys is like going back to talking about artists. Like, do you guys have a favorite local artist?
Yes,
or
I do.
a favorite artist in general?
Well, favorite artist in general, that's a whole big question. But local artists, local artists. This is an artist named Crystal Genesis. I found her like 2 years ago.
Hey.
Yeah, look over here, Brad. Genesis, another stand too. Too many stands in here. But yeah, I found her like 2 years ago. It was on like a random playlist. And I was like, oh, this is a bop. This is a banger right here. So I've been following her ever since. So yeah, that's my one. What about you, Jen?
I don't have a favorite artist. That's hard. But like an artist I listened to like a day ago. His name is Aaron Ray. He has like good. Like,
I like him.
Yeah, he's like really good.
I'm about to picture.
You guys should look him up. Yeah.
I think we should also talk about that freaking the overall. Like I know it's a hard question to answer, but like let's be daring. You know what I'm saying? Let's get busy.
What's the question?
Our top, like our number one favorite artist. I mean not Jen. Zora. We already know.
I don't know if I have only one favorite artist, because like I listen to like a lot of different types of music. Like obviously Tyler is one of them, but I got also like this is like very stereotypical, but like Frank Ocean, Steve Lacy. I listen to like Erykah Badu. Of course,
Erykah Badu, bruh. You definitely be walking around the house with like incense, just like looking like a wizard, bruh. You definitely do that.
And recently, like I found this artist, Faye Webster. I really like her music. It's like alternative kind of like music is like really cool and chill. And this band, the Marias, I really like them.
What about you, Jen?
I listen to about almost everything, not everything, but I'm open to listen to new music and reconnecting with old school music too. But yeah.
Are you sitting there listening to Billy Ray? That's the real question.
Who, me or Zora?
Both of y'all, bro?
No.
Cabin, bro.
Anyway, speaking of local artists, next up we want y'all to check out this song called Murata by Yunel Serrata, and we're about to take a quick break. So we'll see you guys in a few minutes.
Mirada dulce como en la mañana, cuando yo la veo me hace enloquecer. Yo sé que me tienes ganas y si yo te llamo tú vas a responder. Dicen que son miradas raras y si tú me ves tú vas a enloquecer. Y si a mí tú me tienes ganas, pues dame una llamada y le llevo a donde. Ojos dulces como la miel, una carita de ángel pero es cruel. No somos nada pero le soy fiel. Te quiero pa' mí, dame un poco de tu piel. Dame la mirada y de aquí nos vamos. Te monto en el carro y de una despegamos. Una vueltita mientras nos besamos. Nos comemos y de una al alcohol culpamos. Nadie tiene que saber, nadie se va a enterar. Sal de una, sabe que no me gusta esperar. La oportunidad que te quiero explorar. A otro mundo sabe que yo te hago llegar. Sigo pendiente a tu historia, escuchando a Bad Bunny, pero para ti es normal. Sabes que eres mi chori, moña con Hinori. La paso fenomenal. Avísame si estás dispuesta. Te recojo y dame una vuelta. Par de botella con una seta en la jipeta, baby. Ojos dulces como la miel. Una carita de ángel que eres cruel. No somos nada, pero le soy fiel. Te quiero pa' mí, dame un poco de tu piel. Dame la mirada y de aquí nos vamos. Te monto en el carro y de una despegamos. Una vueltita mientras nos besamos. Nos comemos y de una al alcohol culpamos. Yo no sé si tú, cuando estoy contigo, cambias mi actitud. Me tiran muchas, pero no eres tú. Y yo por ti formo el revolú. Yeah. Quemamos, chingamos, contamos los chavos. Nos vamos de shopping mañana, olvídate del trabajo. Tráeme más botellas que aquí nos quedamos. Ya la combi son Gucci de Ferragamo. Quemamos, chingamos, contamos los chavos. Nos vamos de shopping mañana, olvídate del trabajo. Tráeme más botellas que aquí nos quedamos. Ya la combi son Gucci de Ferragamo. Yeah. Mirada dulce como en la mañana. Cuando yo la vivo me hace enloquecer. Yo sé que me tienes ganas. Y si yo te llamo tú vas a responder. Dicen que son miradas raras y si tú me ves, tú vas a enloquecer. Y si a mí tú me tienes ganas, pues dame una llamada y le llego a donde. Ojos dulces como la miel, una carita de ángel pero es cruel. No somos nada, pero le soy fiel. Te quiero pa' mí, dame un poco de tu piel. Dame la mirada y de aquí nos vamos. Te monto en el carro y de una despegamos. Una vueltita mientras nos besamos. De una al alcohol culpamos. Habla claro, Joseph. Nuni. Lo de nosotros hacer la diferencia, eso es normal.
Hey, that was lit. I love it. That was in my Spanish bag.
Okay, guys, so we're joined back together and we're here with another one of our panelists, Jermaine. Do you want to introduce yourself?
My boy.
Hello, everybody. I'm Jermaine Wade, one of the hosts. I was having some audio technical difficulties, but I think you guys can hear me now.
Yep.
Yeah.
What's up, Travis?
We're good.
Yeah.
The interview.
Yeah, so we're gonna get to this interview. The interview consists of what you guys just heard. It's gonna be an interview that we had with Yanel Soretta coming up. I don't know, Zora, you wanna elaborate on anything?
Yeah, like Jen just said, we're gonna have an interview with the artist from the song you just heard, Yanel Soretta from the song Murata, just talking to him about being an upcoming artist and what it's like to be an artist in Philly, and just with that being his first song as well, like what that was like for him. So we'll
We fine. The camera. All right, hello guys. We're joining you today with my friend and one of my favorite artists, Yanel Soretta. Yanel, can you tell us about yourself, please?
Hello, my name is Yanel Soretta. I'm a 20-year-old, born and raised in the Dominican Republic, part from here in Philly, and I love music.
I want to discuss in particular your song Murata. Can you explain it for us, please?
Yes, my song Mirada is basically a song that I was inspired by my girlfriend, Eyes, which Mirada translates to look in English. So my girlfriend's eyes are beautiful, not just because it's my girlfriend's eyes, but they're beautiful and inspire me to make a song about how she makes me feel every time she looks at me.
Mm-hmm. And how long did you know each other for?
We known each other for quite a while now. We pushing 4 years of knowing each other and 3 years of relationship.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any pictures of her eyes that you can show us? I know this is on the spot.
Right. Yeah, I actually got one right now as we speak. is I took of my girlfriend's eyes. Oh, that's from my camera that I was showing, taking pictures. And as this is usual for me, like taking pictures of her eyes and saving it is actually something that I do quite often.
Explain the song making process that you had when you were making this song and why you chose to keep it secret.
I chose to keep it a secret. Basically, I learned the hard way of like every time I do something that I like and that I love and I'm like actually excited about, turns out life just like turn around every time like I turn like, you know, people. And I decided to keep it a secret just to like into a last moment, just because of, you know, just so I can get it through and like nothing makes it, you know, take the idea and make it finish the idea without, you know, hiccups or like bumps in the road. The song making process basically, I'm an artist. I do beats and stuff like that, but sometimes I find myself looking around the internet like for beats that other people make just to like get inspired. Since I was in basically on this app that I got for looking for beats, I listened to the beat. The beat, I love this since I heard it, and actually just came to mind of my girlfriend basically. So I decided this is actually my first song like professionally recorded in the studio. So I decided to make it about my girlfriend, one of the things that I most love in this world. So yeah, basically just got in the studio, listened to the beat, and just went from there.
How long did it take you to make this song? And did it come easy? Because, you know, the knowledge and the information that you had was right in front of you, you know, your eyes. So how did that work for you?
It took quite a while for me to actually, you know, from start to finish. It took me about 2 weeks just to, you know, get the lyrics down, get the tempo right, and get like the studio sessions together. So from start to finish, I want to say 2 weeks or 2 weeks and a half, around there.
For your inspiration, like of your music or like your style, like what artists inspire you?
I listen to, I'm a very versatile guy. I listen to like a lot of styles of music. Definitely, I want to say, sound cheesy, Bad Bunny, like the Puerto Rican rapper. He inspires me a lot, and his styles and like the way he go out and do like different stuff and make it like everything his own and do something different. He's definitely inspirational for me.
How did you get interested in music? Like, were you always like a musical person, like growing up?
Oh yes, I was definitely love music since I was a kid. I always had like instruments around my house, pianos, guitars, and all that stuff. Since I was a kid, I just fell in love with music. It's just something about music that makes me feel like at home, basically. It's like a way for me to express too. And just listening to music for me is just like a therapy. So I just love music itself. And since I was a kid, I was interested in music immediately when I knew what it was, basically.
Hey guys, we're back. Unfortunately, we couldn't fit the whole interview in, so I would love for you guys to head over to Philly Cam's YouTube. The full interview will be on there. Which you just saw our special guest, Yunel Serrata, along with his music, Murata. I would love you guys to go look him up. Go follow him on IG at king_Nooney. And yeah.
All right, let's get it ready. So for our last little thing we'll talk about the good and bad side of the industry. So when it comes to the good and bad side and how it relates to the internet, it's very closely tied in a way where how artists we listen to today blow up pretty quickly. And they usually blow up in many different clever ways. It's from either making themselves a meme. The first example I thought of would be Lil Nas X, to collaborating with other rising internet artists, or purposely just making challenges that kind of gives them a lot of clout and blows them up through that way. But as far as they grow, they can pretty easily fall like really, really quickly from just having bad press to having songs or even albums that are critically panned to just outright being disliked as a person. And the pressure of putting yourself out there is pretty high. So I would say overall, in terms of artists in the music industry and how they release the internet, how do you think it affects an artist?
That's a good question.
I can start. Personally, I think that social media affects the music industry by making it way more accessible to people to be able to blow up, like you said, and it also makes the process faster. Like blowing up, like in the past, like obviously the internet didn't exist and everything, so you had to most likely be discovered by a talent artist or like a producer or something. But now you can just post like all of your content and everything on the internet, and whoever sees it can help boost or start your career. What do you guys?
Yeah, for sure.
For me, the problem with that though, because you said it makes it super accessible, which is correct, and I feel like it's in the wrong ways. Like nowadays, we're really believing in people's like personal image before the music, and then it doesn't correlate to the music. How many artists do we see with a million followers, but their songs aren't showing that as well. So in a sense, I don't think it makes sense. I think we're really going to the day and age of it's a personality before it's a musician, and social media has kind of created that. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And also like the thing with artists too, like it's so unfortunate that like artists don't know what they're getting themselves into when they sign a contract. They have no idea. Like I was doing some research for a little while about kind of how artists get paid. And it's all over the place, but essentially it's kind of like a loan where the label will give you this amount of money and pretty much kind of the stuff you use with that said money will like if you buy a house, cars, private jets, whatever, it's yours technically, but like it's not really your money. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of funky in that sort of way. So like
absolutely correct with that because I think nowadays even with like a 360 contract or like an artist like Lil Yachty signed to, like they're actively like taking your YouTube money, your Twitch money, your TikTok money. So now you're being forced to be on there too. Like it's all various like ways of making money, but they're not really counting on the music anymore. Like when's the last time you heard a Sweetie song? I rest my case. All right.
What was the last time you see Sweetie eat something normal?
A week ago. Oh, unnormal. I heard. Yeah.
But yeah, that sucks. That these artists or upcoming artists or artists already, like they don't read the contract or, whoever their manager is, gets them into whatever, and then it's hard for them to get out of. So it may take them a couple years to get out of, like they have to make a certain amount of music or put out a certain amount of albums for them to get out of a contract. And maybe like it probably may be possible to get out of the contract, but who knows? That's not my expertise. It just like sucks because some artists want to like be able to talk their ish or do what they want, put out what they want, but they can't because the label is like holding them back in a sense. So yeah, it just sucks. They basically have to pay that money back and everything, and like you said, someone or like they're giving money and everything, and then I don't know, it's like so deep. The industry is just like pros and cons, and then with certain artists is like dark. The industry is just dark. It's how the artist wants to use it, honestly, and like in a positive way or in a negative way.
It's like
forget all that, bro. I'm working at McDonald's.
It's like with you remember like the artists like 2005, like the 2010 era where we had Usher, we had Neo, and they always said like the corny, talkative music videos where you be in the club and it's super generic, but you believe that they can sing and that they was actually like talking about love. Did you feel like they were in love? And to like go into that with the contract is even unfortunate nowadays because the older artists who gave us timeless classics, they're being dropped from their albums because they can't catch up to social media time.
Yeah, for sure.
A song from Neo and Usher in a minute, and they're dropping like little features here and there, but they're being forced to work with artists that aren't even really in their like subsection of like the kind of music that they make, the subject matter, you know. So it's a changing on like the time now. Like eventually, I'm pretty sure we won't even hear about artists being artists anymore. First, we'll hear about like their personalities, and then we'll see like a link in like their bio, and then now we see some music.
I agree, but I feel like also with that too, it'll come to a point where it's like, well, it comes to a question of will those artists even last that long? You know what I'm saying? Because like artists who kind of become personality first, music second, it's rare for it to really become a solid thing. For like the first example that comes to mind, I could be wrong about this, but Cardi B. Like Cardi B was on Love Hip Hop? Yeah, it was Love Hip Hop. Like for the longest time, she made music here and there while I was on the show, but like when she came out with Bodak Yellow, it was over.
She has a different type of I believe social media. I'm sorry. Well, Cheska Vasquez. If I said your name right, I am so sorry. I didn't. I believe social media can be a good or bad thing for artists. We already talked about the positives. I think sometimes it can become negative since artists have their personal life public all the time.
Yeah, I agree.
And that works with Cardi B example too. Go ahead, Zora. Sorry.
Yeah, I agree. There's definitely negative sides of like it being so easy to blow up and like have a music career because it like it's a lot of competition. Like it's way more competition than like if there were to be like naturally like without the internet and everything. Like while the internet has brought good things, it also like brings bad as well. So a question like would be how does the internet like affect your personal music experience or like how does it affect your like music taste personally?
Jermaine, you take this, bruh. Take it.
I'm gonna take it from Brent Fires, man. Brent is like that guy, man, to where I think Brent at all times, bro, gotta be ignoring like ladies' phone calls. Gotta be like super like, you know what I'm saying, mysterious all the time. Because if I see him too much, bro, if I hear him too much, bro, if I see him like doing normal things, like let's say eating an orange, bro, it ain't gonna feel right. So I gotta see like an idolized, like one-sided version of him. And it's like they say, like never meet your like idols. He's not really an idol of mine, but like if I met him, bro, it would just be weird. So you know, I think that's what the music industry has done for me personally.
For me, the internet has affected my music experience. Like it put me onto like a lot of cool artists. Like earlier, I was talking about Faye Webster, and also like I found out about like the Marias, like I said earlier as well. And, like a lot of cool artists. Like there is good things that comes out of like social media being a factor in artists blowing up. So I definitely found like a lot of cool artists. Like have you guys like had a similar experience?
I definitely have. I've been letting you guys talk, but I'm like so excited because I definitely have, and social media like it really pushes artists out, and I like to see like smaller artists or like underground artists like not a lot of people know, and then I end up finding them or like other people, and then I'll be like, yo, you know them too, or like you know them too. It's just so cool, and what is also cool is that in the comments, like we have viewers too watching us, so that just made me happy. So my good friend Valeska, she was like, in the comments, she said, I believe social media can be a good and bad thing for artists. Zora talked about the positives. I think sometimes it can become negative since artists have their personal life public all the time. I just think that's so cool that we have viewers watching and also a close friend of mine watching. So yeah.
You already got #1 fan already, bro. No way.
Yeah, it's What about you, Samaj? Like, is there any artist that you like feel a unique connection to because of social media?
Unique connection to? Honestly, I can't really say I do. Like, because I think for me, how I look at a lot of artists, even some I love the absolute most, I still don't know them. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know who the people are. I don't know their eyes. I don't know their middle name. Like, I don't know these people. So, like, I'm still able to separate it greatly. That, you know, I love their music, love singing their songs, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I can't really say I have a deep connection with some. Actually, that's a lie. Because I would probably say the closest would probably be J. Cole. I know Jermaine was a former stan. You know, he was a former stan, now a hater. Okay, you feel me?
I'm asking this, right? So if you saw a video of Zilla Common, because you know you're in the trap rock, right?
Yep.
If you seen a video of him singing Frank Sinatra, does that change anything for you?
Frank Sinatra.
Like, cause you know how you expect them to listen to a certain type of music, like you already stereotype them in your mind with the thing that you heard or saw.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, what would that do for you?
Yeah, you're right. It would. Yeah, it would definitely make me be like raise an eyebrow. But also weird because like a lot of artists try to like. Okay, this is kind of more of a question, honestly. Like, do you like when the artist you're listening to kind of delves into different sort of like kind of mediums? Like one example I think of off the bat is like A$AP Rocky. Like what was that movie? What was the movie he was in? I forgot the movie. He was like in a movie or something like that.
Is it dope?
Yeah, it was dope. Like how do you feel when like let's say if like Tyler the Creator was like now kicking it, you know, in Avengers or something, like how are you gonna feel?
That would definitely motivate me more to see it. I think that it's cool, like, but when it's natural and it's not like forced. Like artists, like they may try to like go outside their comfort zone, but sometimes it seems like unnatural, like kind of forced in some way.
It's like they want to do it, it's like they don't want to do it.
Yeah.
That's the thing, though. I think Tyler Creator being in an Avengers movie it wouldn't fit. Like seeing Cardi B in like an action movie wouldn't fit. Like Tyler Creator needs to be in like a super like Wes Anderson animated or like live action, like unique. It has to make sense because in Dope, for context, Dope is a movie about a young man who's trying to find himself and trying to figure out what side of life does he want to fall on. And he kind of transforms and evolves. And A$AP Rocky plays a character who's a drug dealer, like the super macho man who gets all the ladies. And in his music, A$AP Rocky doesn't sell drugs, but he comes from that hood or urban community, whatever word you want to use. But he talks about ladies a lot, so it transfers over naturally. It has to fit in a way. For me personally, like when I seen Cardi B in like an action film, I'm like, this is just for like money. She's like one line. I'm like, this doesn't work at all.
Right, yeah.
I mean, most of them just want, the money. They just doing what they want to, They're like, what's the word? It's a word. What is that rapper called from New York? Basically, like clickbait and a troll. Like, getting money, I don't know.
Speaking of like problematic artists like 6ix9ine, do you guys think it's possible to separate the art from the artist?
Listen, I agree. I mean, we put too much tension on the artist. Like the music, good. But who says you gotta stop listening to the music? Like people pressured. They be like, oh, if you listen to this artist, because they did this, like you're canceled or something. Like, bruh, separate their music from the artist. Like, I don't know. That's just my opinion. I'm still gonna listen to the artist I want to listen to.
So, Mike, you gonna go left field with this one?
The opposite of thinking, bro. Why you think go left field, bro? What you trying to say?
Okay, we talk about this. Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Would you listen to R. Kelly? You feel me?
Whoa. Who said that?
Who? Miss Ariel asked it. You know what I'm saying? Would you listen to R. Kelly? Could you do that right now?
Bro, I don't listen to that dude, bro. I don't listen to him. I never said I did. I never would. And
I know there's people who do though.
Yeah.
I do too.
Like him at cookouts.
Yeah, bro.
Y'all find it weird that they listen to R. Kelly.
Well, when you listen back to it and be like, damn, they really did this. Now it makes sense. They can hear it in the music.
But I feel kind of uncomfortable, like knowing what he did. I'm like, I don't know if I really would. But at the same time,
he had a song called "Trapped in the Basement." That's
will I turn it off? I don't know. Do you guys think he's still canceled?
For me personally, yeah. He
Yeah.
needs to be
Yeah.
held responsible for what he did.
Hmm.
You know, it's just that to go back into like social media and all that kind of stuff, and like the image of a person, like what they have to be, it really hurts when you hear, you know, R. Kelly's subject matter, and then like you can't listen to that with a clear mind.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Unless you like, you know, not even Step in the Name of Love works for me anymore, bro. And that was like a cookout banger.
He
Yeah.
canceled. That's it.
What about
I
A$AP
feel like
Rocky?
I feel like personally, like people pick and choose who they want, like who's canceled and like who's not. Like I remember like a while ago, like Doja Cat got canceled, and then like everybody acts like nothing happened. Like after, like I feel like people pick and choose like who like stays canceled and like who like gets a pass for certain stuff.
It's like the internet has power. Like
Yeah.
they can keep someone canceled for like a good month or months, or they can like pick another person. They could just be canceled for a day and then it's over. That shit. That is wild. That is super wild. Excuse me.
Good save.
I mean, like, I have one more thing. Like, canceling really kind of only works if you don't have much of a status. Like, I would say, like, if you just a random dude. Like, okay, I'm gonna still finish my point, but now I think about it. Yeah. But like, if you work at McDonald's, right? Like, and you do some stuff that gets you canceled, like you tweeted something or whatever, whatnot. You know, you possibly getting fired by your manager saying you getting fired, it can really mess you up or whatever, whatnot. But like, if you're a celebrity, you'll be alright. The only time you won't be alright is if you like did something with kids or like rape or something like that. Besides or murder, straight up. But like any of those like super serious crimes like that, like you'll be alright. Unfortunately.
There's an art to being uncanceled, if you will. Like you said with Doja Cat, like Doja Cat has a different type of fan base. The same thing with like Kanye West's fan base is they believe and worship him in a different way to where they look past all of that stuff. So there's an art to it. I mean,
Yeah.
so it's, with can you give context to what Doja Cat did too? Because I want to make sure our viewers are aware of who they're listening to.
I like don't remember like specifically, but I think it was something like related to like what'd you say?
I had to deal with her like streaming and stuff.
Yeah, it was like something about race, I think.
She was in a group chat where they were sharing very racial things.
Yeah.
She wasn't talking, but she was kind of involved in the group.
Yeah. Well, did you guys see the comment? Mel commented he's watching. So cool.
What?
Yeah.
Let me shout out my friend, man. My friend, you know, watching. He came here to be a very courteous, professional guy. So thank you, my good sir. This is my high school friend, one of my favorite musicians, and you guys just heard his song Murata, which means look, and it's about his lady's eyes. They're very beautiful. Hey, sister-in-law.
Hey.
Okay, so switching gears a bit, we want to keep you guys informed on what's happening in the city and local events that may spark creativity or help you build your community. So, Jen and Samaj, do you want to give some announcements?
Of course. Let's get it.
Yeah. We got to put you guys on.
The Mazzoni Center was on Saturday, April 9th. There will be a virtual name change clinic for Philadelphia residents. Deadline to sign up is April 6th. Check out Mazzoni Center on IG to learn more.
For this one, this is a Feminist Flea and Grant Boulevard presents a sustainable marketplace raising money for urban creators. Saturday, April 23rd at 12 p.m. through 7 p.m. Cherry Street Pier. Learn more at cherrystreetpier.com.
Waiting for tear gas at the Philadelphia Museum of Art through Sunday, July 17th, 2022. Visual interpretations of political protests are displayed in Waiting for Tear Gas at the Philadelphia Museum of Art, showing everything from the movement that erupts amid chaos to the stillness and movements between individuals. Learn more at themuseum.org.
Monday, 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. at The Attic, Shine and an all-person group that examines culture and society through a positive, queer lens. Learn more info and email at bonner@atticyouthcenter.org.
Pluro Plus. Pluro Plus, looking for an opportunity to showcase your creativity while bringing light to the pressing topic of migration, diversity, social inclusion, and more. Submit your video to hashtag Pluro Plus 2022 Youth Video Festival. Learn more at Pluro_Plus on IG.
Applications are open. Become a student board rep. Herb Ed, are you interested in being a voice for Philadelphia students on the school board? Learn more about what students board representatives do. Check out URBED at advocates.org. Deadline May 20th.
Cool. Thanks for sharing that, guys. Those all sound really cool, especially the art museum one. I definitely want to go to that.
No problem.
Have you guys been there? Like, I know we'll wrap it up real quick, but like, have you guys been there before?
The art museum?
Yeah.
Yeah, I go there all the time. I love going to art museums, like museums in general.
What a nerd, dude.
I miss going to museums.
What about you, Jermaine? Just really quick.
I have not. I'm not hip like Zora, unfortunately.
All right, so you can take it.
Anyone? Cherry Blossom Festival? I've never been, but curious.
I haven't been, but I want to.
That sounds fun. I might
Yeah.
just.
I went to the art museum like last December. It was pretty fun. I would definitely go again.
But let's admit, waiting for tear gas as like visual like art is a crazy thing. Like sometimes I think some of these things shouldn't be art. Like they're real life moments that need to be real life. If it comes to it, we should kind of play around with that. But I get art. So I'm like, it's too soon, man. It's too soon.
I ain't gonna lie. When I was reading, I was like, "Yo, what?" I was like, "Hey, man, hey, yo, people be out here, bro."
All right. But before we go, can you guys share your favorite Tyler song? Because I know Joe will be very happy about this.
Right now, my favorite Tyler song would probably be. This is so hard. Oh my god. I'm just gonna say the one I've been listening to the most is "Come On, Let's Go," like from the new Bill album, like it just came out. So, yeah, or something like you guys are listening to now. You can say like that.
Come on, let's go. I was definitely listening to it today. It's really good. I think my favorite song is hard.
Well, I'm gonna stick to Tyler, but probably Earthquake. Yeah, I really like Earthquake. His is interesting. I'll say that, but no, I'll mess with it. It's endearing.
Are you guys open to a positive quote? Anybody?
Wait, say again?
I want to share a positive quote. Are you guys open to that?
Oh, bet.
Hey. So before we go, I like to end each and every show that we have with a quote. This one is by Helen Thompson. Through music, we may wander where we will in time and find friends in every century. Hope that resonated with you guys and viewers.
It hit me already. I'll tell you that much. I'm gonna hit the viewers with a takeout. Since I missed the beginning of this, I have to do this to redeem myself. I was gonna say thank you guys so much for listening to WPPM 106.5 FM Philly Cam Community Radio. And for our TV viewers, thanks for watching us on Xfinity 66 and Neon 66. Also, Verizon Files 29 and 30. And shout out to all who are watching on Philly Cam's YouTube. And most importantly, thank you for hearing us out. See you until next time. Also, I'm bumping my friend Junel Serrata song. Thank you.
He had to get the plug. He had to.
He got me in my Spanish bag. I'm definitely going to listen to it again. Add it to playlist.
Bye, guys.
Hey, bye, guys. Thanks for watching.
Bye. Until next time.
Yeah.